While visiting Ishigaki Island, we decided to take a ferry from Ishigaki to Taketomi for the day. And we were lucky enough to have some friends join us. Quick side note, notice the crew waving to us just like the airports. They wished us off on a good journey. The ferry from Ishigaki to Taketomi was only 15 minutes. This is the perfect amount of time, especially when you have kids with you. It was about 5,100 yen, so it's about $30 to get us from Ishigaki to Taketomi, all four of us, round trip on the high-speed ferry. There are two different kind of ferries. There's a slow boat and the high-speed, and you can get a ferry about every hour, so it's very easy to get to the island. The island is very small and it's very walkable. There's a couple hills here and there, but not too many. We decided to rent some bikes and it was super easy. There are a couple different places to rent bikes on the island, but we went to the first one and the closest one to the ferry. If you're gonna need a seat for kids or smaller bikes for the kids, then I would suggest hightailing it to the bike rental place. Since we went to the first one, closest one to the ferry, there was a lot of people there. But we were able to get bikes for both of my kids in the right size and bikes with kid seats on them for our friends. Once we had the bikes, we went straight to Star Sand Beach. Taketomi Island is one of only a handful of islands in Japan that is famous for the star sand. And if you look close, you can see a little bit of the star sand right here. It is so much smaller than we were expecting. It is almost microscopic. It is the size of a sand granule. We spent so much time looking for star sand. We were actually slightly disappointed because social media hyped it up to be this super fabulous, mostly magical thing that you find in the sand. And this is the beach. You just walk around, you put your hand on the ground, and you find these little tiny stars. So the stars are actually the skeleton of a tiny unicellular microorganism that has died. Very tiny, very hard to find, but we did manage to find some and kind of had fun doing it.
Eli! I didn't do it on purpose. Yes, you did. Sandy.
Eli, why'd you do that?
No, my sock is sandy. Stop! So then I didn't let's sit down. Liza, come here.
Taketomi! We love riding bikes as a family. It's one of the things we do when we're bored. It's one of the things when we're doing vacation. It's just kind of one of those things that we do. So riding around this island was a no-brainer. And is probably what made this trip as fun as it was. The water buffalo pulled wagons is another thing that Taketomi is famous for. If you Google Taketomi, a picture of this is probably going to pop up. The kids were all begging to take a ride in one of the wagons, but we didn't fall for that tourist trap. Sorry, guys. There are only a handful of places to eat on the island restaurant-wise. There are no convenies, so you're kind of stuck with either bringing your own food or eating at one of the local restaurants. We chose this one randomly, and it turned out to be cafeteria style, where you kind of order up front and then get your food and bring it to your table. We got curry and taco rice, and everything was amazing. We rode our bikes around a little bit more. There are alleyways and roads every which way, so we kind of got a little bit lost, but we did manage to find a geocache. Okay. So that's the log. So we'll write our name on there.
Let me look in there.
It's a wooden token.
She's ready to go geocaching.
Our friends had never heard of geocaching, so it was a lot of fun introducing them to something that we love doing as a family. This was one of the only places that had any kind of dessert, so we decided to stop and get the kids some shave ice. Everly is so excited about family photos. The residents of Taketomi pride themselves in preserving this island just the way it is. They do not want to modernize it. They have kept it old Japan, and it is just beautiful. A small museum near the ferry will give you a great history lesson about the island.
Okay. Okay, go.
When you buy a round-trip ticket for the ferry, you are not locked into a certain time, so you can just pick whatever ferry works for your schedule for the day. Just make sure you check the timetable beforehand so you aren't waiting at the port for 45 minutes like we had to. You can get to a couple different islands from Ishigaki, but we chose Taketomi for its short ferry ride and for the ease of getting around the island itself on bikes. We wanted something that we could enjoy with our kids and not have to worry about them complaining too much. And we certainly made a good choice, and we all had a blast on this day trip. Oh, there they are! What are you singing?
1, 2, 3, clap your hands.